Here we are, Quest. The revolution will not be televised, but it will be watched by you. This is DJ Rap, joining me in the chill out room for a little bit of a natter before this wonderful woman goes back on the decks, back at Quest, back in Wolverhampton, rewinding the clock to tear the house down with the greatest jungle set that 1 hour of human time, GMT, has ever seen. It's a pleasure to have you here. It's a pleasure to speak to you. I was a big fan back in the day. I was trying to hide that from you when we were talking before we went on air. But yeah, I was a very big fan. It's great to have you back. How does it feel coming back into the hallowed halls of Quest Wolverhampton?
What a fantastic intro, Ben. You're amazing. Thank you for the kind words. It is really trippy to be back after so many years. And what's so wonderful is, I think if someone had said you'd be still doing this 3 decades later, none of us would have believed how lucky we are to still be working, to be able to still bring this vibe, to still have this connection. And you know, Quest is a place that holds many, many memories for me. So I'm very happy to be here, definitely.
It really is turning into an incredible evening. It's approximately 6:30. So we're about 30 minutes until you go back on the decks.
Yeah.
So things are bubbling, the crowd's almost 100% full now, so it's perfect timing. Maybe it's the reason why you're here, is to get that crowd absolutely jam-packed ready for 7 o'clock. But what are your fondest memories of Wolverhampton and Quest?
I mean, I think everybody remembers back in the day, you know, you were driving, you'd have 2 or 3 gigs and you'd be hitting like the Eclipses, the Shelleys and the Quest. The thing about Quest was, Jez, the promoters, everybody that I played for, it was always just such a vibe. Do you know, it was always a vibe. And I just think, I don't know, those days are very, very special. I always say to myself, this is going to sound a bit morbid, but I always think that right at the last breath that I have, I'll probably be recollecting all the raves that I played at and all of those epic memories, because really they're so precious to me. So yeah, just that feeling of family, you know, community and what it was like. It's just incredible.
That's amazing.
I don't think it can be recreated to 100% how it was. I think we'll give it a good go and do our best, but it was just nothing like it, was there?
Well, that's it. All we can do is obviously do our best. And the nostalgia of just walking up those stairs into that room alone, and this venue has been many things since Quest up to now, and I think they've done the Quest justice. I think.
Yeah, it's a different trip walking up those stairs sober, and just like seeing everything, you know, from a different set of eyes. I mean, obviously back in the day we all partied and did our stuff. Never one worked, but it was always like that different vibe. So yeah, I'm quite like, oh, I remember that door. I remember this. It's quite trippy, definitely.
There's a lot of secret little corridors and a lot of secret little nooks and crannies around here, so I can only imagine the wonderful times that people had in this building.
The shenanigans were many.
I got turned down many times trying to enter Quest, but I was only a young whippersnapper trying to apply my trade on the nightclub scene. But yeah, we're in for a treat tonight. You tell me, what's next? What's coming up now?
Do you mean when I play?
Yes, for when you play.
So I was thinking about this tonight. I was speaking to, you know, a couple of people, and I was like, you know, what do you want to hear? And because obviously at that time period, that era, there was a lot of the happy hardcore, you know, tunes like The Edge, stuff like that, you know, Baby D, all those kind of tunes. But then also jungle was just really, really big at that time as well. Do you know what I mean? So I think most people want to hear me play jungle tonight, so I think I'm going to do that. But I brought everything to be prepared.
I think you might hit the nail on the head now. I think it's going to go down.
Okay, because I brought everything. Well. I was like, what do you want?
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what you say about bringing everything? That's a very different statement to what it would have been in the 90s. If you'd have bought physically everything in the 90s, that's about 15 bags of records. Well, now we enter into this digital age where...
There's a box of records that I used to travel. I'd never had that many. My chiropractor would have been dead. But there's a box of records. The problem with records, and this is the thing, is that if the environment isn't stable enough to set them up, they jump. But the real reason why I digitized all of my records was because, you know, in an hour, which is all we have, and these days sometimes you're back to back and blah, blah, blah. That's like 10 records, and everybody just wants to hear tune after tune after tune, drop after drop after drop. So, you know, I think I'm happy that I'm not playing records. I mean, I do for my subscribers and my website. I do all vinyl sets every month, and that's a whole different thing. But the pace is much slower, and often I'm put on at peak time, and I'm there to get everybody, you know, bring the fire. So I think it's a little hard to play the records, but at the same time, you know, they still sound great, even though they're digitized. It's all good, and I think that's fine. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's all good.
Amazing. And what's in the future for you? Tell us.
Gosh, there's a lot going on right now. So, all right. So right now we have worked on, it's 30 years of Proper Talent.
Wow.
And that was actually last year, but this project has taken 2 years. So we're doing Proper Legacy box set, which is all the vinyl, you know, we've got DJ Ron doing a documentary that goes, so basically imagine a box set with 6 pieces of vinyl, 12 tracks, and we've got all of my classics remixed by the top remixers, you name it, Blade Runner, Aries, etc. And then we've got my book, my second book, which is in there, which is my life through pictures. And then DJ Ron is doing a documentary that's going in a USB in the box set, because I've redigitized all my archive footage. My whole life I filmed everything.
That's incredible.
And then we've got a USB with like 100 tracks that have all been remastered, the whole Proper Talent catalogue, as well as some of the low-key catalogue. So it's a big project. It's taken 2 years. That's coming out. I think the pre-sale starts in May, and then I've got my digital album that will be coming out after, which is all brand new tracks. And one of the things that I won't be doing tonight is, and I'm very careful about playing these foundation clubs, it's all about playing the old stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I want to bring that nostalgia back to everyone, so when they hear a tune, those memories come back, because everybody remembers where they were at a certain time. You know, I've had people come up to me.
People close their eyes and they're back there.
Yeah, and that's the whole point. They're transported. I've had people come up to me and go, I got engaged when Spiritual Aura came out, or I did this. I was like, don't blame me if you get divorced. But, you know, it's like, they mean something. So I'm not going to mess with any of that when it's you know, when it's gigs like Moon Dance and gigs like, you know, foundation gigs. You just want to bring the old. So I'm just going to bring the old jungle flavour tonight. But the new album has got, like, the digital album's got just like 15, 20 brand new tracks from me, as well as remixes. But the box set, that is proper legacy stuff. I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
Where do we find you? What's the Instagram? What's the socials? Where do we purchase these items from?
Well, right now we're going to start.
Where do we pre-order?
Yeah, it'll be a pre-order, and there'll be a waiting list for that. But that will start if you just go to my website, djrap.com, all will be there. All my socials are listed there. Perfect. So you guys can find me anywhere, but best to head to djrap.com. But there's nothing up there right now because it doesn't start till May.
So wait there till May.
Stand by.
In May, the greatest purchase of your life.
Well, I hope we'll bring memories back and bring people together.
25 minutes away from the hour.
I'm excited.
Of DJ Rap. Let's cut it off there. Let's shake that hand.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming back.
Love and bass, everyone.
This is DJ Rap. This
Bye.
is Ben Webb. This is Trent Seven. This is Quest.